I've learned structure is good, responsibility, accountability. I've learned that it's okay that I made mistakes and it's okay to work on them each day. I know that it's not a start and finish, there's not a deadline, just a work in progress. The world needs people like me. I don't, just as well as they need people like you. I mean, everybody is different for a reason. It's okay that I don't fit in. That's quite all right. I excelled at my job. I went to work at Quick Mart. 30 days later, or 90 days, I was expecting my 90-day evaluation, and they offered me management. So I went into assistant manager, and about 2 months ago, they told me that when they have another store opening, they're going to give me manager of the store. My boss, when she hired me, she wasn't really for sure, because of me, with my past and stuff. But she reached out, she gave me a shot, and she realized, that we have to have a job, and we're good people.
She has really been a role model and a leader within the group. She brought in several of our participants. They also work at the same convenience market, not only in this town, but in surrounding towns. Like everybody, if you need a job, go to the Quick Mart, they'll hire you. So it's kind of like a recovery court employment bank.
All three of us are hard workers, and we're an asset to the company. The self-confidence that I have for myself now is a lot I've never had. Sometimes it just takes that one person to believe in you, to open the door for you to be able to see your worth, and that's what we try to do. I've got my family, the support of my family again. My child talks to me. I get my youngest child, not as much as I'd like to, but it's way more than I was. I have a 30-year-old and I have a 9-year-old. And my 30-year-old adopted my 9-year-old about 4 years ago. And so he had wiped his hands of me, but he comes in every morning with his crew from work at my job, and we cut up, and then I get my daughter, especially now that summer is here, I'll get to keep her during the day because I work third shift. So I get to spend a lot of time with my daughter again, so I've gained that back. And that's amazing to me, for me and my son to laugh and cut up, and for him to call me because he needs me. That's probably the best. I just pray that phone rings sometimes, and when it does, it's awesome. We have to do a community project, giving back to the community where we for years have took from. I chose to give back to something for the kids because I feel like that's where I damaged the most, was in my children.
She built a little library, and she did the whole process, and the library is now mounted on the courthouse property, right in front of the courthouse.
It's for the kids that are always at the courthouse, with their parents or anything like that, where they'll have something positive to do. They can read a book, they can take it home with them. It's not something that they're going to get in trouble for having. Just something that it shows that a positive influence, where it's always been negative that I've gave, just something that will continue on to be a positive for the next generation of the kids. I think the biggest thing is being honest with yourself and know that you need help, and trusting the process, and don't have to understand the rules, just follow them. And in the end, you'll see that every rule's in place for a reason, not so much because of you can't wear black on Tuesday, but because it's teaching you a different mindset, because that's where the change has got to go. You've got to have a different mindset and learn to live a different way and think a different way. If not, if you never change that, you're never going to change. It's not being sober, it's living a life of recovery, and that's a totally different world.